Now, a couple of tools that I want you to go home and make, okay? First of all, a workstation. Okay, 20 inches by about 12 inches this way. I recommend 1.5 inches, 2 inches, 1.5 inches or 2 inches thickness. You can get by with 1 inch, but no less than 1 inch. You just want a nice heavy piece. And I radius these corners usually with 2 different radiuses. Two different radiuses. Now you can pound metal onto these different radiuses. Make sure you keep this one nice and sharp and square back here. So now here's the trick thing that you do is you do not weld this to a base, especially if you're working in a home garage and you want your neighbors to talk to you at all. You know, you want to put a piece of rubber or 40-pound felt paper in between the steel and the base. So what I do is I make an angle iron base that may look like this, and this is regular angle iron under here, and so on. And you bolt this, you bolt it, and I would drill it with 1/2 inch 13 bolts, 1/2 inch 13, put 4 bolts in it, and you put rubber or paper in between the two. Now on this base, you can put a flat plate, 1/4 inch plate, and then your base will go down from that, whatever you want to put on the floor down here. And then, so this bolts up underneath there, obviously. So now your base is coming down. Then you make a tray. You can also use 1.5 inch angle iron. Make a tray like this that goes in here. Then put perforated metal in here just so the dust doesn't collect. And then you put your dollies in here. Then you can use tubing, little pieces of round tubing all the way across here for your hammers. All the way around there. Put your hammers and your dollies in here. And this from your thick piece, put this down maybe 8 or 10 inches so you can still bend metal over around, work all the way around it. And you got your hammers and dollies in there. Then when you go down, put your base. Then here on your base, if you're going to put casters on it, you put 3 instead of 4. 3 casters, and it'll self-level on uneven floors. All Lockheed, Martin, Grumman, all the aircraft companies, 3 dollies, 3 casters on the bottom. Okay? Everybody all right so far? You got it?
Got it.
Okay. Now, a next tool that's very easy to make, it just takes a little work and a lot of torch work. This is a railroad rail. Top view. Top view, side view, railroad rail. Now, when you get ready to put it on a stand, you bolt it instead of welding it on a stand. So a lot of torch work to get this in there and grind it and so forth. Beautiful tool. All right, one more. Make a pipe anvil. 5 or 6 inch pipe, 3.5 or 4 inch pipe, and a 2 inch. Now you put these kind of low. In other words, here would be your center of your pipe. You want to put this one down here and this one down here, not up high. Now you're able to, you can weld this or bolt it, but if you, either way, you want to put the gap in here is 3/32. I'm not really writing that right. 330 seconds. 330 seconds, okay? 14 gauge metal. Put a little piece here and a little piece here and weld it up if you want to. Now you can put sheet metal in here, just shove it in and bend it over that circle. Put sheet metal here, bend it over this circle. Isn't that great? You've seen it. It works super. So your 330 seconds gap, it allows you to put in, you can go up to 14 gauge if it's in small pieces, but you're not going to bend a piece of 14 gauge by hand across that. Depends on how long. Now that's the big question. How long do you make it? Okay. Mine is 52 inches inside because a rocker, I make rockers for a Mercury and they're 51.5 inches. But you can go 3 feet or you can go 4 feet or whatever. I don't recommend over 6. A friend of mine made one longer than 6 feet, and then you put it in here, it springs. You see the tubing, especially the 2-inch, it'll spring too much.
Have you tried solid stock?
Oh yeah, it works great. Fabulous solid stock.
As far as springing goes.
Oh yeah, no, it works just fine. As they say, it works bitchin'. But you know, it costs a lot more, okay? Now what I do recommend, if you can afford it, is tubing instead of pipe. Tubing instead of pipe. Now tubing is a thicker wall.
Is that like a DOM?
Yes, DOM tubing, it'll have a 1/4-inch wall, things like that. So, and then I mount this on a single pole on one end and a double on the back end, like that. The reason I do that is because sometimes you bring something over it, you want to bend a hood over it, then these legs are not in your way. Then I also bolted mine here on this particular one. You put big heavy 1/2-inch plates and 2 nice 1/2-inch bolts in here, and you bolt it on there, then you can set it up so that it has a groove or a line or a ridge so that you know the gap is right. And then I have 2 more of these, you see? So I have 5 different diameters.
Technically, you could almost put a plate on the back end of that and put a degree wheel on it. So you could
Absolutely, anything you want. I will let you do that. Did I tell you that every day is a school day? Don't forget it. Every day is a school day.
Yeah. They 18 gauge steel, 4 feet long, 1 feet.
I use 18 gauge all the time, 18 gauge cold rolled. You do not want to use hot rolled. Forget it. Hot rolled has a black slag on it, and if you're going to chrome it or paint it, you have to grind it all off. You cannot paint successfully over hot rolled steel. So use cold rolled. So I use 18 gauge cold rolled on every repair part, fabrication, you know, everything that I make. Any questions? Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Not enough.
Well, thank you. Thank you.